Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this week's installment of Renegade of Wrestling. I am your host, JJ Williams, here to bring you my thoughts on the world of indie wrestling, specifically this week, Battleground Pro Wrestling, once again, because, well, we just had a show this past Saturday, so I need to give you the results and my thoughts on the matches. But before I do that, I've got to say happy birthday to Jade. Yesterday was her birthday, so I hope all y'all on the channel, leave her some comments on her Facebook page, tweet her at Jade Hogan RSI, give her a belated birthday wish. So, happy birthday to Jade. And I also have to say a rest in peace to my good buddy James, aka AWOL, who passed away Saturday night. While we were at Battleground Pro Wrestling, I found out the news about this. So my thoughts and prayers are with his family at this time. Just want to get that out there. Show started off as it normally does with the opening segment promo. This time the brothers Derevko, those sneaky, dirty, underhanded Russians, came out to welcome everyone to the show and play host from the stage alongside myself and Jeff. Gotta toe the company line here, right, Sasha? Opening contest of the night was the Santino Challenge of the Ring Warrior division. Triple threat match between Seville Alvarez, Robbie Phoenix, and Lucha Machine. Lucha Machine picked up the victory in this hot opening contest. He is now going to be one of two contenders for the Ring Warrior Championship, currently being held by top shelf Jeremy Yeager, member of the Greater Good. Again, just real solid, fast-paced, great cruiserweight style of action here in this opening contest. Second match was the Pussycat Challenge, where 6 individuals fought for a spot on the Battleground Pro Wrestling roster. We had Haas, Biggie Biggs, Marcus Riot, Johnny Suave, the man known as Head, and Blackheart, all fighting it out. Biggie eliminated Haas to begin with. Marcus Riot came in and eliminated Biggie Biggs. Suave came in and got rid of Marcus Riot. That was a great match to see those two going at it. Head came in and eliminated Suave. And then we got Blackheart entering, and Head was able to eliminate him. And Head was declared the victor, but not without your standard Russian shenanigans. Oh no. Sasha Derevko grabbed the microphone and informed Head that there was one more man that was going to enter the competition, and none other than the main event, James Morgan from NWA Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, member of the Family Stone, and Mach 1 Wrestling, came out to the ring and made very short work of Head. James Morgan now has the job with Battleground Pro Wrestling. He got on the microphone and said that he has an agenda here that we will all find out in due time. Next match was the NorCal Challenge in the Ring Warrior division. Brandon P.Net versus Levi Shapiro, the unorthodox one, versus everybody's favorite game show contestant, Johnny Plinko. Brandon P.Net was filling in for Perry Von Vicious, who was scheduled to be there, but for whatever reason was unable to make it. Really good, solid, just grimy, dirty matchup between those three competitors. Levi Shapiro was able to get the victory, and he is now also a contender for Jeremy Yeager's Ring Warrior Championship. I'm curious if that's going to be defended in a triple threat next month at Burning Bridges, or if one of the men will get a shot and then the following month the other man will get the shot. We'll just see how the BPW brass books that over the next few months. Last match we had prior to intermission, Nick Madrid versus Tito Escondido. This was an interesting booking choice because both men are totally babyface, both men very over with the fans, but it seems like on this night Nick Madrid was just slightly more over than Tito Escondido. Tito was able to get the victory via disqualification, and then things got good because James Morgan came out from the background and applied the cross-face chicken wing onto Tito Escondido about a year or so ago up in DCW, Dungeon Championship Wrestling. These two men had a match, and Tito Escondido broke, what was it, Morgan's arm, his collarbone, and kept him out of action for the better part of the last year. He only has recently come back, what would you say, the last 3 or 4 months? He's made his return. So out of action for a good 8 or 9 months at the hands of Tito Escondido. And now James Morgan is coming to pay back. Watch out, Tito. The main event is coming for you. Went to intermission. We came back with Wrestlers Say the Darndest Things with Sam Knight as the special guest. Sean Cosby, aka Sean Black, hosting. Sam Knight told Sean that, you know, until he gets right in the head, the Black Knights are on hold. He told him that, you know, it was a Russian hypnotist who hypnotized Sean to convince him that he is in fact Bill Cosby. Foob Dog came out. Foob is no stranger to head trauma himself. Excuse me. Tickling my throat there. Foob Dog came out, no stranger to head trauma. Told Sean he needs to get his head back into the game. Sasha grabbed the microphone and said that it was now time for the Ramirez Cup Battle Royal, and that Sam Knight had drawn number 1 and Sean Black had drawn number 2. So we started off the Battle Royal for the Ramirez Cup, which is basically like their Money in the Bank briefcase, if you will. The winner gets a title shot whenever they want. And those two former partners went at it for a bit, and we had such a lineup of talent in this Battle Royal. A lot of the guys you're not going to know. Some of them you will recognize from other companies or from NWA or Pro Wrestling Massive or Mach 1. And just to run through the list, 20-man Battle Royal, 1-minute intervals, people were introduced. We had Hell Kid, Ryan Ramos, my good buddy, making his return to Battleground Pro Wrestling. Cody Phipps, Ridiculoso, Ruben Iglesias, Tara Calloway, the former Wild North American champion in the match. Simon Lotto, Foob Dog, Mondo Vega, the normal manager for the Greater Good, was actually in in-ring competition here tonight. Jason Andrews, Sean Winchester, Levi Shapiro, who had competed earlier in the night, Johnny Suave, Marcus Riot, Nobody number 1, Nobody number 2, Nobody number 3, and Pinky, the leader of the Nobodies. All competed in the Battle Royal. During the Battle Royal, Sean got bitch slapped or knocked. I forget exactly what it was, but he finally came to, and him and Sam joined forces during the Battle Royal to start eliminating people as the Black Knights. So hopefully the Cosby thing has run its course. It was funny, but I think everyone has been anxiously waiting to see the Black Knights back together again. Came down to Pinky and the Nobodies were the final 4 in the ring, and the Nobodies were teasing like, you know, hey, we want a shot at the title. We're not just gonna walk out for you. But at the end of the day, it was all a swerve. They embraced, and the 3 Nobodies eliminated themselves from the Battle Royal, giving the title shot to Pinky. Came over to the staging area, grabbed the championship, and held it over the air as a sign of things to come here in Battleground Pro Wrestling, I'm sure. Next match was the Brothers Derevko versus the Working Dead. B-Boy and Chris Cadillac. Brothers Derevko took this match via countout. Really, really hard-hitting, back-and-forth contest between all 4 individuals. Definitely a great match. And then for the last match, I'm going to need Jeff to come on via voiceover to talk about the Mikey O'Shea versus Extreme Loco match. This was 2 out of 3 falls. First fall was a standard pinfall match. Second fall was hardcore rules. And the third fall was, what was the third stipulation? Last man standing. Thank you. And I, unfortunately, was outside for most of this contest as I had my daughter at the show, asleep on the stage, and I did not want to take the risk of them brawling up there and disturbing her because she fell asleep like halfway through the second match. So, Jeff, if you wouldn't mind coming via voiceover and talk a little bit about the Loco Mikey match for me.
Well, I had to film this, and I had a roaming camera from ringside. It was intense. It was brutal. It was definitely bloody. So much that the shirt that you're wearing now, my Super Sasha shirt, not yours, you're wearing your own, but my Super Sasha shirt has little Mikey blood spots in of course, the yellow part, the lighter part of the shirt, of course.
Red and yellow, red and yellow, red and yellow.
We got that. These two, to coin a phrase, beat the shit out of each other. It was brutal. It was hard hitting. Like you said, it was intense.
This was definitely a blood feud. These guys have been feuding with each other since November Pain last year.
I believe so. Is when Loco turned. Yeah, I believe so. Somewhere around there.
You know, Loco was a babyface, aligned with Team Mikey. Came out there to assist him in his rematch against Rico Dynamite at November Pain, and turned his back on him. Took his mask off. Totally turned his back on the fans and everything, and these two have been beating the shit out of each other pretty much ever since.
Yeah.
Any opportunity that they get to get their hands on each other, it has been nasty.
Yeah, Loco lost the first fall by DQ because he kicked Mikey square in the cock. Low blowed him.
In the testicular fortitude?
Yes. Pretty much. And then he just pretty much dominated the second fall. He busted Mikey open with a chair, and
yeah, I heard reports from outside that Mikey was gushing blood.
Yeah, I was at the point where Mikey was in the corner, like above me like this. You can't see what I'm doing, obviously, out there in TV land, internet land, but I was filming from down below, and either
like
Loco,
an upwards angle, if you will. Imagine Jeff on the ground filming up to, I'm assuming Loco like on the turnbuckle.
No. Mikey was in the corner, just like laid out like against the corner, and Loco's just beating him. I don't know if Mikey like spit or like he got hit or whatever, but like I said, little blood droplets flew everywhere. There was stuff on the floor next to me, on my shirt. I had to have Kara to clean my lenses off because I got blood on my lens. I'm like, okay, I can't see, and for the whole rest of the match, there was a little drop of blood on the lens of the camera. So dramatic effect on Mikey's camera for that one. It was. I was telling everybody, I found it so hysterical that I refereed a hardcore match about 4 years ago. Not a spot on me except dirt because we fought everywhere all over the Legion Hall and New Hall. But I film a match and I'm like almost covered in blood. It was crazy. Just brutally intense. I mean, the fans supplied the weapons. Keep that in mind too.
Yes.
The fans were encouraged to bring the weapons for this, and the fans at this point, we had a stop sign, we had hockey sticks from this house, we had a PVC pipe from this house, we had a tennis racket from this house, we had
a Neil Diamond record,
which flew in Jade's lap. Part of it did when Mikey struck Loco with it. And
talk about what Loco did to Jade.
Yeah, that was pretty hardcore. Loco, I'm trying to film this, of course. Loco at one point went up to Jade, demanded to use her wheelchair as a weapon. Jade basically told him to go fuck himself. He picked her up out of the chair, and I swear to God, I was going to slam her down on the floor. He slammed her down on the chair next to her, and poor Liana, God bless her, got to try to defend Jade, and she's wearing a knee brace for whatever happened to her, and Loco just threw her to the ground and started like twisting her knee brace, trying to get the knee brace off to use on Mikey. Thank God he came to his senses or whatever, and we got Liana out of there in the wheelchair, of course, so Jade's just kind of stuck there at one point. Jade had nowhere to go. It was, Roderick Strong used Jade 4 years ago when she was pregnant, or 5 years ago when she was pregnant, but this was more intense. This was more up in your face, I think. It was emotional. I could sit back there and just like, I felt like I was Tony Schiavone calling the Cactus Jack match. Oh my goodness. So I couldn't believe the intensity of the match, and the end spot with the Mikey, you guys will see it on Mikey's channel and our channel, but just the end spot with the table was just amazing, and I hope for both their sakes and for the sake of Legion Hall's cleanliness, let's say, that was it, because it was crazy.
So, sounds like those of y'all that were there, like us, enjoyed a really awesome match. Those of y'all that weren't there missed the fuck out. Shame on you for not being there. August 25th, 2012 will be the next show, Burning Bridges, at the American Legion Post number 716, 3252 Florista Street, Los Alamitos, California. Bring your asses down. Seriously, you are missing out on the stars of tomorrow by not supporting indie wrestling. You know, those of you that watched TNA Destination X, you know, the ones that are always giving me boatloads of shit for covering the indies, Mason Andrews, Lars Only, SoCal talent, baby. I've seen them for years. Scorpio Sky, Johnny Yuma. Joey Ryan, the internet sensation, Mr. 87% himself. I've been watching wrestle since 2004 out here. So all y'all out there that want to talk about how indie wrestling don't mean shit, your superstars of tomorrow, the American Dragon Bryan Danielson, CM Punk, Samoa Joe, all those guys started out doing this first. Keep that in mind. For this week's edition of Renegade of Wrestling, I am the Renegade of Wrestling, J.J. Williams. Thank you very much, Jeff, for the voiceover for that main event, and we hope that we'll see you out there at the matches.